Ready, ready. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of SportsShack. We are now live streaming again, as always, around this time. So definitely everybody join. I know we're definitely gonna have a lot of people coming in soon. I expect a lot of visitors. We got to promote. We got to put it out to the viewers out there, especially on my personal Instagram account. And I know Dennis, but Dennis, how you doing today on this fine Friday?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I gotta say, I'm doing all right for myself. Nothing to complain about. Living life to the fullest.
Yeah, man, it's been busy.
Went out a bunch of times last week. Saw a nice local bands play. The Pine Street Band. Always happy to support local music. They're like a rock band.
Yeah,
Their
I
album
love
just
Pine
came out. Obviously, I'm friends with some guys in the band,
Yes,
and yeah,
Jesse Terry.
Matt Schock, Dan Rangifa,
Shock.
Ryan Stevens, all nice guys, man. I even
Yes.
got a T-shirt. Is it a little weird to have a T-shirt with your friends' faces on it?
Nah, hell no.
I don't
I
know.
get it. Sure.
So, yeah, a little peace sign for the Instagram viewers. I know people that are trickling in are going to be watching this retroactively. Like, what is this guy doing? Uh, I'm sharing this.
That it, I know Jelly Roll and Post Malone. They came to City Field. I would have loved to have gone to that. It infuriates me the amount of people that I've talked about. Because when I think of T-shirts and like of concerts and bands, like I definitely would have copped a shirt, some merchandise if I was there. So now when you're talking about Pine Street Band and getting merchandise from it, like no, like good for
They got
you.
the album too, of course, the
I
hard
think
copy album.
they have a music video, right?
That I don't know anything about.
I think I've seen them. I gotta look because I think I've seen them like make music videos and stuff. Pine Street has been a thing for a long time.
Yeah, much love. No, Dennis, it's supposed to be live. How come I can't consistently edit my text messages? What's that about?
I wish I could tell you.
All right.
Watch love.
Much love. Peace and love.
Coop's gonna text and he's gonna be like,
He's gonna say something wild.
he's about to watch love.
Interesting conversations yesterday.
There's were definitely some interesting conversations. Yes, where if the it's like when they say the group chats get. I love those memes where the it's like in 50 years when the group chats gets leaked, the FBI shows up at you.
Yeah.
But obviously not bad conversations, and obviously, like I said, I'm just joking. I love those memes like that.
Of course.
But a lot going on in the sports world. So much going on. My New York Knicks did not make the NBA Finals. What are you going to do? Hard-fought battle by the Knicks, but the Indiana Pacers just proved to be the better team. Tyrese Halliburton is really that guy. He is him.
Mm-hmm.
He is him. And he had another game-winning shot last night. We're going to get into that later because the NBA Finals just started as they played the OKC Thunder. Now, the Indiana Pacers took game one, 111 to 110. Obviously, like I said, Tyrese Halliburton took a late shot and made it in with 0.3 seconds left, barely giving the Thunder even time to even make a shot. So good for them. But now we're going to get into that later. So obviously, like I said, the Knicks didn't make the NBA Finals. As a result, even though this was likely coming for months, from what I heard, this was coming months in advance, Tom Thibodeau was relieved of head coaching duties from the New York Knicks after 5 seasons for them making the playoffs. Definitely came as a shock. I remember seeing it in the group chat to my friends, and I actually was pretty shocked. I actually think they were going to fire him. I know the senior NBA insider on ESPN, he said that, people came together and that that the Knicks brass, like Leon Rose, upper management, they had full support of Tom Thibodeau. Turns out that, that was not the case. That was not the case.
Yeah.
It was James Dolan that kind of made that final decision. He's like, which I guess people saying it was months in advance that this was coming. My question is, what if they made the finals and they won it? You telling me he was going to get fired either way? But, what do you say?
At that point, no, if they won it. I didn't finish your thought. I thought you had finished. I'm sorry. Obviously, when you're done taking
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good, man. You're good.
I think because there seems to be a lot of people confused by this, certainly in New York and nationally. And I think there's two different camps. There's the camps that are front runners and the camps that aren't. The people that watch the Knicks game in and game out, like that I work with and whatnot,
Tell you, yeah.
jubilation over this firing. It's all the same Tibbs tropes. He doesn't play his bench enough.
No,
Even if they brought in depth, he's not going to play them.
doesn't make
Overworks the starters. There's also the elephant in the room of like Mitchell Robinson is not an Iron Man. He's not Mikal Bridges. He's not a guy who could go out there and play 80 games a season. He's not. Like you don't want to overwork a lot of your guys, and then this guy has a little injury, that guy's a little injury, and that stuff kind of snowballs. Like, yeah, you know, the Knicks kind of caught lightning in a bottle. I think they really overachieved, and going into the season, you might remember I said that they were going to win the NBA Finals. They're my winner pick going into this year. And it seemed like, halfway through, I was like, I think I'm wrong, because now I thought of it as like, but now they can play the guys like Precious Achiuwa and Deuce McBride a little more and whatnot, because they don't need Brunson to do everything. They don't need the starting five to do everything, because they can split up the starting five and use those supplemental pieces. And when they weren't doing that and still playing guys 35 minutes a game, despite having that much talent on the roster, even though I'm not saying the bench is as good as Indiana's or as good as Cleveland's, as good as Oklahoma City's. I'm not saying that, but I also don't think they're as bad as Denver's. But if your guys aren't playing more than 5 minutes a month, I mean, that matters.
Yeah, no,
that matters. Like, I don't think that Tibbs is. I think Tibbs is great and excels at establishing a culture for a team and an identity for a team. I think what he fails to do is the stuff like Rick Carlisle is doing. In-game, mid-series adjustments that like some coaches can do it and some coaches can't. For years, like just using Rick Carlisle as an example, because that's Indiana is the team that eliminated the Knicks. For years, the Mavericks had a really bad roster and a really incompetent front office, and they were still around a 500 team. Because, well, they have Dirk Nowitzki and they have Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches in the league. Dirk Nowitzki is one of the most reliable players in the league. So pencil them in to be a 500 team. And it just was the way it was.
Yeah. And Jason Terry.
I'm saying like after that. I'm saying after that, when the roster was bad, after they won the championship, again under Rick Carlisle in 2011.
Right.
But like you have coaches that are good at that are good at excelling with garbage. Or maybe in his case, one great player. And then you have the guys that are really good at establishing a culture, like Tibbs. I'm trying to think of like a baseball comp, because I know we have a lot of baseball fans that watch, but I can't really think of a guy. You know what? Before Dusty Baker went to Houston, he would have been like Tom Thibodeau. Establishing a culture. He's going to get you to the playoffs, but you know he's not going to win. Eventually, Dusty Baker did win with Houston, and Dusty Baker had more success than Tibbs. It's not a great one-for-one comparison. Or maybe Bobby Valentine might be a better comp.
I agree with Deshaun's sequence right here. He said, I liked Woodson. Is he talking about Mike Woodson? I remember Mike Woodson, of course. He did great the 1 year, 2012 to 2013. I know he took over from Mike D'Antonio. Then I remember after the 2013-14 season, he got the can. So I definitely agree. I guess it was a move that the Knicks had to made. I mean, my thing is, if you're going to replace Tom Thibodeau, you got to make sure you find someone that's what you want and what you need. People saying they might go after Jason Kidd. I could see it. My thing is, like you said with them, just got to rotate your players, got to use the bench, make the defensive adjustments, and just don't run your starters to the ground. That's just really what they need. Everything you said, that they just need to do the opposite.
Supposedly, there's reports that they might promote Mark Bryant, who's already an assistant coach.
Doesn't sound familiar, right? I mean, we've all saw The Last Dance. We all see what happened to Doug Collins, and who was one of the assistant coaches that was on the Bulls staff. It was Phil Jackson, of course. Mm-hmm. So, not saying the Knicks are going to have like a Michael Jordan or like a Chicago Bulls dynasty, but it's hopefully I'm not trying to sound too superstitious. Obviously, Mark Jackson got the can with Golden State. Next thing you know, Steve Kerr came in, and the Warriors had that. So it'd be weird if that happens to the Knicks. But hopefully, my thing with the Knicks is that hopefully they could find someone that could be just as good, and just basically give what the Knicks need. It's all going to depend on what the roster is going to look like because the roster is not going to be the same. A lot of players are going to leave. A lot of people saying they're going to trade for Giannis.
I think that's a horrible direction.
I
could not disagree enough. Like, I'm wearing my Suns t-shirt because I'm a Suns fan. Dude, that's what killed our team was getting Durant. It really set off a lot of dominoes.
Now people saying the Knicks should go and get Durant. I didn't watch First Take this morning, but I saw the notification on my phone that they were talking about
that.
Like, hey, they were all for them getting Durant. Even a guy that stiffed them back in 2019 and said, hey, I don't want to come play for you.
I could solve the Knicks problem right now. Sign Dennis Schroeder. Done. Get somebody to run the offense when Brunson's not on the court. He's a really good defensive guard that you can play him with Brunson at times to take another load off Brunson and just let him focus on scoring. Like, you could do a lot with him. He was good he was really good against the Knicks for Detroit. He's an unrestricted free agent. Let him have the opportunity. He's a veteran. He's been around the league for a while. Your backup point guard can't be campaign. Can't be campaign. I know it's like, well, what about Deuce McBride? Deuce McBride can't run the offense. He's not a point guard. He's a combo guard. Schroeder can at least pass. Like, you can rely on him. Like, Schroeder's kind of like a Kmart version of Rajon Rondo.
What about Iguodala? Not even
no, because it's a different position. But like Andre Iguodala, I guess, in regards that, like, he knows his role. He knows that he's not expected to be
like
an all-star. You don't got to get 25 points. Yeah. You just do your job.
Just do your job.
I think like Mikal Bridges is like an Andre Iguodala type. I'm just here to do my job. Fine. Schroeder, you just bring in a guy, knows what he's doing, consistent, reliable, good. Hopefully, you know what you're getting. I understand that I guess behind the scenes, he has a reputation for being a bit of a prick. Maybe that's something you don't want, but at the same time, too, like the Knicks culture, a lot of them playing together in college, Rick Brunson being on the coaching staff, like a lot of these guys, they all know each other for a long time. They have that unit. Like, you don't hear anything like, even when stuff is going bad, you don't really hear trickling out of the locker room about drama or anything like that. That I think that they can handle it.
What I wish they didn't do is I wish they didn't give it to Dante DiVincenzo. He's a great.
I don't think that makes a big difference.
Either way,
I don't think it makes a big difference.
So either way, I think we know what the Knicks need to do. Like, get a coach that, I would love Jason Kidd. It sounds like a good fit. We used to play.
I think Mike Malone. I think if it's not Mark Bryan,
some people
it's
are
going to be
saying Mike Malone is literally what Tom Thibodeau's is. Would you agree on that?
Couldn't disagree more.
Okay.
The big knock against Tibbs is you can't win a championship with Tibbs. Michael Malone has a ring for a reason. Yeah, they have Jokic, and I understand people thought like his voice kind of ran stale in Denver, but also they're in the exact same kind of situation the Knicks were in. They have one excellent player, a very good starting five, a worse starting five than the Knicks, in my opinion. In my opinion, the Knicks have the best starting five in the league and one of the worst benches. And Denver had a really bad bench as well. But at least he tried to get guys involved, and he developed guys like Christian Braun into being one of the better two-way players in the league. Or like, I guess like more of like a 3-and-D guy, but like guys that can do other stuff. Like Bruce Brown played himself into a nice contract under Mike Malone. Like, he's good at maximizing the talent, even if guys aren't the best. I mean, there are times Facu Campazzo looked good under Mike Malone. And that guy, I don't even know if he's still playing basketball.
But either way.
I think he's fine. I want him for Phoenix. I still don't know who we're getting.
It's true. We'll see. But it all depends how the Knicks do. And like I said, it's definitely going to be a big offseason for the Knicks, especially after, like you said, they call lightning in the bottle before. I mean, this whole season, at the run they made. 2 games away from the NBA Finals. We'll see. But yeah, definitely something they need to. I would love Giannis, and I don't want to get into too deep quick because I want to move on to the next topics. I don't think they shouldn't get Giannis or KD. Just fill up the bench, stack it up, and then if you need to trade some pieces, go ahead. But that just fill up the bench because, like I said, you don't want to burn your starters. They're going to need it. It's just crazy when they fired Tom Tibbs. But the NBA Finals, though, we got to talk about that real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to my buddies at work yesterday. You guys know my day job is retail. And when you work retail, the easiest way to make friends is to talk about sports all the time. So that's what me and my boys do. And I was saying to my buddy Joe, who's in our baseball league.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was like, he was like, the Pacers are going to get starched, bro. They're going to get destroyed. They're going to get killed. Then OKC is so much better. So that's what everybody said before they played the Knicks. That's what everybody said before they absolutely destroyed the Cavaliers like a hot knife through butter. Be careful.
Wow, damn, the hot knife through butter. That's
crazy. Be careful. Teams take Indiana lightly, and they're so good at even when they're behind, they're not really behind. They're so good at keeping a good pace, no pun intended, with their opponent. They're so good at it. And when the other team lets up a little bit and you start thinking because they play fast and whatnot, they're a bad defensive team, Andrew Nemhard and Aaron Nesmith will clamp you up and Pascal Siakam will clamp you up. And then you're kind of in that quicksand. And all they have to do is don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. And they turned the ball over a lot to start that game yesterday. A lot of risky passes. I don't like how they do a lot of the deep passes. I like Miles Turner. He's got center blocks for hands at times. He can't catch anything. As a team, they had 24 turnovers to Oklahoma City 6. They still won, even when trailing massively.
Yeah.
Indiana was one of the teams with the lowest turnover rate in the NBA during the regular season and the lowest in the postseason as well. So this is an anomaly for them, and they still managed to win it. On the road, in what has been the best home court in both the regular season and the postseason. This was only the second time Oklahoma City has lost at home this postseason. Dude, that's huge. That's huge. And again, for the fourth straight round now, Rick Carlisle, just great coaching. He's moving the chess pieces around. Great coaching. I like it. I want good TV, man. I always say if my team's not in it and a New York team's not in it, I root for TV.
It's definitely interesting for the fact that this is the first time any of these teams are going to have an opportunity to win a championship for the first time ever.
Right.
That's I think it's pretty big. That's TV as itself.
Thunder won one in Seattle, but
it's definitely true what you said. A lot of people definitely underestimated the Pacers this whole playoffs.
This whole year. They're the hottest team in the Eastern Conference going to the playoffs. They had the best record over the last 30 days.
Right.
Going into the playoffs. And that's why, I don't know, perhaps it's my all-seeing eye, but during the Cleveland Cavaliers series, I put a little money down on Pacers to win the championship. Yeah. Did I see it going this well? No. And there's plenty of game left. But I was looking at that cash out this morning, and I said, no, don't do it, Denny. Don't do it. Stay at the craps table a little longer, Denny. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. And I'm mad. Chet Holmgren, if he had 4 more points, I would have won over $100 last night. Tragic. Tragic.
It's tragic. But Tyrese Halliburton's what he's been doing, the run that he's been on, it needs to be studied.
5th game-winning shot of his postseason career. The 3rd most since 1997. I saw some kind of a crazy graphic, but I forgot it. But I guess they had the graphic up after his I forget what it was. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know it if I don't know it offhand.
Right,
But
there
yeah,
you
man, really good postseason run for him last year and this year. Excellent player. And a lot of people were saying, obviously it came out that the players voted him as the most overrated player in the NBA. Well, I hate to say it. I guess that's not really true anymore, is it? Oh, I actually just found that graphic. Final 5 seconds of fourth quarter or overtime. The most go-ahead or game-tying field goals. LeBron James has had 8. This is since 1997. Reggie Miller had 5 after 1997, which is nuts. Halliburton has had 5 already. Only 25 years old. And I'm wearing the Suns shirt because my stupid team passed on him for bubble bass. Jalen Smith. So, hey, man, I'm happy to see him playing well. And a lot of teams passed on him. The Kings had him and traded him. What a great run this Pacers team is on, man. Good TV. Good TV.
Yeah, good TV, definitely good TV indeed. I feel like, just by the way, like I said, I feel like after game 1 against the Pacers for the Knicks, I feel like that coming into the series, a lot of people saying the Knicks were going to make it to the finals, so we're going to take it in 6, was going to go to 7. But I was nervous because of the history between the Knicks and the Pacers. It was definitely an intense rivalry, and the Pacers are known for giving the Knicks trouble. No one wanted to talk about that. But so after he hit that shot that sent it into overtime, and when they thought he won it, it was definitely sent shockwaves. But, Indiana, like you said, great coaching, great players, great chemistry. Everybody's involved. Like you said, Miles Turner, Neesmith, everybody else. I don't think there's not one player that you can't say is not involved with that team. It's a whole collective group effort. So, and it's definitely interesting. OKC is looking like a great team. They got SGA, but also at the same time, the Pacers are also a great team as well. So, it's definitely interesting TV. I agree.
Yeah, if the Thunder win this series, they will have the 3rd most wins since the merger. The 3rd most regular season and postseason wins since the merger, tied with a bunch of other teams. I think maybe 1 or 2 others. But this team is not a joke.
No.
They're legit. Some would say too legit to quit. But the point I'm trying to make is this is not a walkover series, man. This is not a walkover series. This could be really good TV.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm happy.
But I
I'm
feel
happy.
like
I just want a good series, man.
I just want a good series too. We're good, and
Last year was horrible. Oh, talk about a hot knife through butter. Mavericks put up no defense, quite literally and figuratively.
that was Boston's year.
Boston. I mean, it didn't even look like they belonged in the same league.
I feel like we got to talk about quick about the championship drought in New York. Since, well, I mean, to be fair, the Liberty did win it, so we got to talk. But they kind of didn't.
Soccer won it too. NYCFC won it. Yeah, the boys from the Bronx. I remember the call. I watched the game. Right? Am I crazy, or is that just another playoff game?
They're also getting a new arena.
NYCFC? Oh, I thought
that's where the new arena is going to be.
I thought that they're. I know they split time between Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. Blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. They won the conference, but they didn't win a championship, I guess. What? I could have sworn for sure I saw them winning a championship.
Definitely would have been great if they were able to build a football stadium near there, but they're not going to. Yeah, it's an NYFC. Maybe I'm wrong. NYFC Stadium. Yep, next to Citi Field. 25,000 seat. Or if they're gonna have concerts there, that'd be cool if they can have concerts there as well, like Citi Field. It's another venue. It's definitely another venue for New York in general, as we don't have any other. We can't have as we have the the many venues that New York has.
Yeah, NYC FC won in 2021.
Mm. Look at that old photos.
I think, I don't know, figuring out soccer championships is like trying to figure out the Fibonacci sequence.
But either way, I think it's just exciting just to see what's been going. I mean, well, it's not. It hasn't. The drought hasn't been exciting for the other, four major sports. Um, so hopefully, the Knicks were thought to be doing it, but they, because cities go through droughts all the time with sports, not winning a championship. But hopefully, the Knicks can be able to do it. Hopefully, the Knicks, the Jets, the Mets.
The
Hopefully,
Yankees.
hopefully, one of my teams can do it. My teams are obviously the Jets, the Mets, the Islanders, and the Knicks. Hopefully, one of them can break that. Then you got the opposite teams. Maybe the Yankees were close to doing it, but the Dodgers said otherwise. The Rangers get pretty close, but then they find a way to choke.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to 2011, the last one, the Giants. And I'm trying to think back of the closest times teams were that I think they legitimately could have won the championship. I think last year's Yankees were number one, obviously. I think number two is basketball, but it's not this year's Knicks. 2021 Brooklyn Nets. With Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. Kevin Durant's foot is over the line slightly when he made what would have been a game-winning three. He missed it. Bucks win. They go on to win the championship against my stupid team. And I don't think we would have beaten the Brooklyn Nets that year. And I don't think that obviously they would have beaten Milwaukee. So they would have gotten to the finals. And I don't think anybody would stop them. I think Brooklyn would have won.
Okay.
Third place, again, I'm going to go baseball. I'm going to go 2019 New York Yankees. And then fourth, I'll go this year's Knicks. Fifth, I'll go 17 Yankees. Sixth, they got to the championship, so I have to go Mets. And 15. No, because the Rangers against the Kings, the Rangers were pretty good that year. No, actually, after the 21 Nets, I'll go the back-to-back Lightning Islanders series. Interchangeable, whichever one you want to go. Because the Islanders were really good.
They were great, yeah. They were one game away.
So I'll go those two.
Oh, can you imagine if they were? Oh, don't get me started. The Islanders.
Obviously,
that was the year to win it. That was the year to win it. I want to win the draft series.
And then they would have. Oh man.
But anyways,
they've gone against Montreal, which is the worst finals team I think I've ever seen in any sport. So I was born in 2000, obviously you know that, but the audience might. From 07 on, I was really watching sports. 2011, I started to really focus on it. But from 07 on, I don't think I've ever seen a team that bad. Than the Canadians that lost to the Lightning in the finals, the COVID year. They were horrible. I don't know how they did as well as they did. They were horrible. They caught hot fire at the right time, and they were so bad. Carey Price, I think, was playing out of his mind. I think that's what happened. And then I don't even think he's played since. Leg injuries, he had some health issues, and now he can't even walk. He's got no knee.
Yeah.
He's got no cartilage in his knee or something like that. He can't play. He can't walk.
Oh. All right, but you know what? We should dive quick into baseball.
Of course.
The Mets, man, they've been getting going. Juan Soto definitely feeling like his old self. He just came out and said today. I was going to text it to the chat, but I forgot. He came out and said, I need more time. So he's still settling in, but he has been feeling more comfortable, which is good. A lot of people saying he doesn't like playing on the Mets. He's not liked. He was bottle flipping the other day with everybody. On the dugout. I don't know if you saw that. And everyone was happy for him. He, they had like a celebration after the game. They waited for him to come in. So, the hate with Juan Soto is, I think it's definitely calmed down. I think the Yankee series, definitely was more intensified. And but like I said, I'll be as patient as I can be with Soto. We have him for 15 years. He's been good. He's been good. It takes time. So, I'm happy. I've been happy to seeing it. I think he's been productive the whole year. I know the average speak for himself, but I think he's been good. He's been good for the Mets. Has he struggled? Sure. I'm not going to deny that, but I think he's people expecting him to hit like Ted Williams 400. Like, let's settle down. Let's relax. It's the beginning of the season. He just got onto the team. But that's the pressure, and that's what's like playing in New York, and especially the Yankees fans who are pissed that he went to their crosstown rival.
I still don't get that.
And I know we've discussed that plenty of times. I'd love to discuss it more, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But no, so I'm glad to see that. They really should have took 2 out of 4 against the Dodgers. They should have swept them. They should have swept them. At least take 3 out of 4. But it just, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. Especially they had them by in the palm of their hands. And I know Brosbon gave up the home run to Max Muncy, and I think Freddie Freeman was the one to hit the walk off, and then of course Michael Conforto. It's the go ahead RBI single in yesterday's game. But overall, I think it was a great series, and a lot of people saying it was definitely better than the Yankees-Dodgers series, which
Yeah, obviously.
But
what kind of take is that?
It's true.
The Yankees sucked. Wow, what a scorcher!
But no, yeah, I think
you didn't get 18 runs dropped on you. What a leg to go on. Wow,
it's true. But no, yeah, but I just think the Mets have been playing good. I'm ready for Sean Manaea to come back. I'm waiting for him. I know they said he's got a rehab start at Brooklyn A, so he's getting close. That's good to see, good to hear. Kodai Senga is looking good. The All-Star ballot just came out. Well, the voting begins, so I'm got to go right ahead and vote for Lindor, who has a broken toe. Hopefully he comes back soon. Hopefully he gets better. It's definitely tough playing on a broken toe.
He's only on day-to-day. He had a broken pinky toe. He seems optimistic he could come back.
Cringe, you just thinking of a broken pinky toe.
Yeah.
I'm getting PTSD from my foot injury. But just overall I'm happy with the Mets right now. What do you take on the Yankees?
We're fine. The Yankees are fine. We're still we're still one in our division by a landslide, aren't we? Like, I get it. It's not perfect right now, but what do I care? I mean, really, come on. What am I going to complain about? I understand networks and radio stations and other podcasts and things like that. They need their ratings. They need their breakout clips. They need to carry on and make a big deal about nothing. I don't do that. I don't care. I don't care if that gets me bad ratings or not. Maybe you feel differently. We can have that conversation privately. But no, I pride myself on being a realistic fan. Come on. What are we going to do? Go 182-0, 162-0? That's what happens when you start thinking about basketball and then go back to baseball. Come on, man. 38-23. We're 5.5 games above the Rays and Toronto in our division. We're chilling. We're 3 games out of first place in the conference. We're chilling. I don't care, man. I don't care. Now we got this Cleveland series. They're good. I'm sorry. We took 2 out of 3 in Cleveland. Now we got Boston. This could be a good test for us. Boston, I don't think, is a bad team. A lot of people they've been underperforming, so to speak.
Right.
But they're good. They're a good team to see where we're at. And I'm happy to see where we are. I'm happy Max Fried pitched well. He struggled early on through the first inning. He had a high pitch count, but he settled down. He finished the game well. And we won. What am I going to do? I'm going to keep whining about us winning games we're not winning by enough? No, you got to be realistic at some point. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I think that we did good. We won 4-0 last night. All right, we got crushed by the Dodgers. Okay, fine. Life happens. You got to move on and get over it. You know, Max Fried yesterday, even after having a high pitch count after the first inning, he gave us 6 innings pitched, gave up 1 hit, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He only had 1 bad inning. Everything else, he was, I mean, dare I say, perfect. Aside from that, Jazz Chisholm had a stolen base. You know, like we looked good. We looked good.
You know who's not looking good though? Colorado Rockies.
No, they're not. They're horrible. Where's this coming from?
What?
Hey man, don't say that about the Rockies. They won 3 straight games. They swept Miami. My fish, our fish. You forget that. 2020,
Sure.
we're getting fishy with it.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's sad how horrible the Marlins are, or how horrible Sandy Alcantara has been. Although he actually did pitch well against them. No
We still come off
disrespect.
with Tommy John, right?
Yeah, I guess it's got to still be affecting him. I don't know. He's been horrible. I think he's only had 1 or 2 good starts this year. One of them came against the Rockies. Yeah, here's a 7.89 ERA. Oh wow, it's in order. 4 hits allowed in over 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Sandy. That is not what we're used to. Hopefully he gets it together, man.
Yeah, for the Marlins' sake and for
Yeah, I didn't buy my Marlins jersey for nothing. I should wear that again. I haven't worn that in a long time.
Why don't you?
It's really cheaply made. I got it in their stadium, and it feels less authentic than my actual fake jerseys. Like my Kershaw jersey, it's a fan-made jersey. The one I wore when we went to the Mets that time, that was a fan-made jersey. I got it from a fan site.
It's a nice jersey.
It was very high quality. I almost considered like, hey, do I want to just be a Dodger fan if their fan jerseys are all this well made? I got it for like $50. My Tina Martinez jersey's fan made too. Feels more authentic than that. Come on, Fish, get it together. But yeah, the Mets and the Yankees are both doing fine. Ben Rice, really good. Bellinger, great defensive play. Next inning, hit a home run to put the Yankees up 2-0, driving in him and Aaron Judge. Not bad. So listen, we're chilling. We're chilling. All right, so the Dodgers ate our lunch. Who cares? On to the next one. We'll worry about it in October.
On to the next one. So I know we should talk about it quick. I know it's your favorite player, your favorite person. Aaron Rodgers finally, and
I'm going through a tunnel. I'm losing connection. Sorry.
I stopped really caring whether he was going to sign or not. All I got to feel is that he's not my problem. He's the Steelers' problem. I wish nothing but the best for him, but I don't see it going anywhere. I think he's at the tail end of his career. I don't know what else he's got left to prove. I really don't understand. He should have just – I guess he wants to go out on a good note. But I don't know. I mean, good for the Steelers, I guess. Hey, you got a 41-year-old quarterback, with no backup, no quarterback behind them to sit and learn. Probably should have took Jackson Dart. I think they kind of messed up with that. Maybe they saw something that we don't. That's just my take on it, but I don't know, it should be fun. Another year of Aaron Rodgers. And he's one of the few quarterbacks left from our childhood. One of the only players really left. So I'll try to take it in and just enjoy it as much as I can. And then he's likely going to ride off into the sunset and retire. Sounds like it's going to be. And so we'll see. It's definitely going to be interesting. Of course, week 1, the Jets faced the Steelers. I know the NFL schedule makers, they wanted to get that out of the way. They knew it was coming. Justin Fields versus Rodgers, which I would love to go to, but I don't think I need to. I don't know.
It's all about him. Everybody and their mother knew he was going to the Steelers because literally he could have gone nowhere else. Why not? Why not just say a month ago, I'm going to the Steelers? Enough already. Good luck. I like Mike Tomlin. Bless your heart, Mike Tomlin. You have a rough road ahead of you.
He did say it was something going on with his family.
Now I take back what I just said.
He said in the offseason that a couple people in his family or someone close, he didn't say it was his family, if I'm correct, that they had cancer. So I don't. He was using the time just to relax and be with them.
Now I take back everything I just said.
Sounds like it might have been that. I'm not really too sure. All I know about Aaron Rodgers is, like I said, he's not on the Jets anymore. I wish him nothing but the best. I think it's good the Jets and him, they parted ways. I think it was for the better. And so, yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it goes with the Steelers. And, yeah, that's basically it. With football, I'm definitely really excited. It's going to be an interesting season. What's that?
Thumbs up. I'm excited for football, too. Let's go Giants. Let's go Giants. Let's go Giants. It's Clobbering time.
I know the Dallas Stars, real quick on hockey. And
Giants.
Real quick on hockey, and then I feel like we'll wrap it up because I do got to go in a bit. The Dallas Stars, after failing to make the Stanley Cup Finals, they fired Pete Dubois. The general manager announced that the coach was relieved of his duties after Western Conference Finals exit. I think we got to talk about how cutthroat really sports is, especially I feel like in hockey. Hockey's pretty cutthroat.
You ain't kidding.
Like, I wish I can go to, like, the championship, so, like, just make it to the playoffs. But these coaches are getting fired just for not making the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Like, hockey, in my opinion, out of all the sports, they're the ones that have, like, the most reverence to playing. It is all about getting the Stanley Cup. And if we keep losing and we're not going to the finals and we're not progressing, you got to go. We got to try something to get that. And even more, perhaps more interesting, the fact that, like, nobody even seems to care about it. Like, the controversies and whatnot about moving on from coaches or whatever, like, they're not even mad. They get it. Like, it just is what it is. Nobody's bigger than the team. It is so jarring to see that in comparison, mostly to football and basketball, that mentality of nobody's bigger than the team.
Yeah,
certainly nobody's bigger than the championship aspirations. But hey, man, you got to go. You got to go. Now, I do think it's a little weird that they lost the Series 4-1 to Edmonton, and Edmonton is up 1-0 over the Panthers in the finals. Like, it's like, hey, man, it's not like you lost to scrubs. It's not like you got out in the first round. But a couple of years in a row, they've been the favorites to come out of the West, and they've fallen apart. So I get it. You got to do what you got to do. It's all true. In service to Lord Stanley.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Good luck to him. I was working that night, so I didn't see a second of the Stanley Cup Finals yet. I feel horrible, and I know you work nights, so I don't know if you saw it.
I saw the updates, so I didn't get the chance to watch, but I think it was Drysdale who I think hit the game-winning shot.
Draisaitl,
yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry, hockey fans. We don't advertise this as a hockey show usually. I can't give you in-depth analysis about everything. I gotta listen. We serve you your sports takes.
We'll try to.
I'm Irish and Polish. You want to come to me to make you a pizza? What do you want me to do? Right? I know my lanes. I stick to them. You want some pierogi? I'll make you some pierogi.
It's true.
Soda bread? I'll see if I could dig out Grandma's recipe. Raviolis? I think that might be Brandon's lane. Like I can't. I can't do it all. I missed the hockey. I missed the hockey. I'm sorry, baby. I missed the hockey.
I guess, brother, I feel like that kind of wraps it up for the rest of the day.
You have my word. I will not miss the hockey tonight. Such failure will not be repeated.
That's right, soldier. But all right. I want to thank everybody who has tuned into this episode of Sports Shack. Thank you guys again. My name is Brandon G. Natali, along with Dennis Tui. Hope you guys have a great day.